Abuse. Talking about abuse and going through social media one time, I just saw a child that was being abused by the madam or the caregiver. And then looking at the child's body, what the madam did to the child, oh my goodness, it was so disgusting. Really, really. Yeah, I don't know. I don't, okay, whatsoever that the child did, I don't know whatever that the child did, okay? He didn't kill anyone, he didn't spy anyone, all right? I don't know whatsoever that the child did, okay? That warrants the madam doing that to the small child. I think it was a child of, was it a 7 years old or eight years old? Huh? Okay. Like if you see the child's body, oh my god. Woo. Really? Yeah. You as a mother that you called yourself a woman, I'm thinking that a woman should be someone that has a good heart, soft, very good heart as a mother that you are. And you have the mind. You have the mind. You brought an iron. You brought an iron. All right? And you had the mind, you plugged the iron on the socket. Okay, let's assume that you just plugged it on the socket to use and scare the child away, just to make the child scared. No, you didn't just plug it, there. You had the mind, you plugged the iron at the socket, and when the iron heated up, what did you do? You still had the mind. Oh my God! You still had the mind to use that hot iron on that child. You used the hot iron to design the child's body, not just only one place. Not just only one place, okay? You had the mind. The child was crying because you know how hot iron can be. So the child was crying, and then you use this hot iron and be designing on the child's body. For what? Like, is he a criminal or what? 7 years old child. Really? What did he do? Huh? I'm just saying this thing like this, and then it just looked like a story. I don't know how many of you saw that online actually. It was so disgusting. Like, I couldn't even look at it like twice, Looking at it, I was just like, oh, I was just shouting, oh my God, like, oh my God, how can someone do this to a child? Really? Oh my God. People can really be so heartless, I don't understand. Yeah, because I saw it was one commissioner for children and women affairs that was handling the case, So I really wonder what she's going to explain that made her do that to that child. You had the mind. Really, even talking about it alone, like it's really traumatized me, really. It was so disgusting. Yeah? When we talk about abuse, some people actually think that abuse is only, physical abuse, maybe like the hot iron that I talk about, or beating or any other physical abuse. No, there are still like emotional abuse, whereby an adult will be using harsh words and abusing words on a child, or like telling the child, all sorts of things, calling them names and telling them, see you're so useless, you cannot amount to anything, nothing good can come out of you, see you can't even do anything, or see other children, see how they are doing things, oh my God, you'll be using harsh words and abusive words on a child. You don't know that is an emotional abuse. Yeah. And then we also have financial abuse and basic abuse, like, yeah, a child that is living with you, there are some basic needs that you should be meeting up with the child, like feeding them, their school fees and clothing them, all those type of things. But no, some people prefer not giving that child food for days, or even if they want to give the child food, the child will walk their ass out before they can be able to eat, and they will definitely eat late, and when they're eating late, they're eating small. So you see, so I don't know why, I don't know how people can really think, There was also another story that I heard, I saw on social media, because social media, you get to see a lot of things, both good and bad, knowledgeable things, all right? Yeah, in that case, it was a stepmother, okay? So because the child is the child of the first wife, and then you just decided to be abusing the child, and then you will use a chain, she uses chain, just normal chain to chain the child. Like, is the child a dog? You chain the child for days and lock him up somewhere in the room and not feed the child for days. Oh my goodness, when I saw this one, the child was already like malnutrited, like, because you really know that the child is not feeding well. Like, seriously. And then the so-called father, the husband, is there. You're there. All right? Even though I know that there are still good men out there, because I have one. Okay? There are good men out there, but there are still some useless ones that will be there watching their wives maltreat their house help or the person that they are living with, and they will keep quiet and say nothing. They will say absolutely nothing. Even some of them are even part of the abuse herself. Like, how can you be there? It's not, this one is not even someone else's child, it's even your own child, and you're there, you're looking at the stepmother maltreating the child. What is the reason that she's going to tell you that the child did that made her to staff a child like that, and you stay there? I thank God that both of them were actually arrested. Yeah, I was happy that it happened that way. How can you do that? Goodness. And then some people will be like, okay, what are some of the impacts that these things can happen to, that can actually affect these children as they're growing up? There are so many negative impacts that is going to affect these children as they are growing up. Which one of them is low self-esteem? A child will now be growing up with a very low self-esteem. When he goes to school or he's out there playing with other kids, he cannot be outspoken, he can't speak, he can't play with them freely because of all the things that he has heard, of all the things that people have told the child out there, telling the child that you're useless, you cannot amount to anything, other children are better than you, and all that. And that's, you're slowly killing the child's self-esteem. And when the child now comes out, other children are playing freely or doing other things, or maybe they're in school, they are reciting some things, and then the child is not able to do that. In some cases, the child will just go one side and just sit down, feeling so low and so down of themselves that they are not able to do these things, Really. And then sometimes even the people that are, maybe the teachers or the people that are training them, or people around them, will now start shouting on the child and be like, you, this child, you can't even join other children to do what they're doing. You can't even speak, you can't even read, you can't even do anything, You start flogging the child. You don't know what the child has been through. You don't know what they have been through. You think it's easy on them, or they don't want to join the other fellow children to do what they are doing? Is that what you think? Yeah? Oh, really? Okay, not even talking about only the low self-esteem that is going to cost on them, okay? Some of these children, they will not grow up and become hardened criminals. Alright? They will become hardened criminals in the society because of all the things that they have been through. They have now made their heart to be so strong. They have actually equipped themselves in a very wrong way, that they just want to go for revenge. They just think that life is that hard and life is that difficult, that's how everybody is, and they will start misbehaving in the society. They will become hardened criminals because of what you did to them. You get? Really. Yeah, even talking about that, even some of the children, because of the maltreatment that they went through, as a house help, they will as they grew up, they will transfer that bitterness of all the things that happened to them to the next person, or to the next house help they're going to employ, because they have not healed from the wound and from the hurt that you did to them. They will transfer the bitterness to the next house help, or they will even transfer it to their children, even transfer it to their workers, or even to their spouse. Yeah, they will transfer it to their spouse. And then you'll be asking yourself, why is this person like this? It's because of what the person has been through, They just think that life is like that, You do me, I do another person, or I do you back. They will transfer the bitterness to the next person. So you see, and then we just keep producing nonsense people in the society. It's not okay. God. I'm not even talking about only the bitterness. What about the physical injury that you're going to cause on that person? Yeah. Yeah, like the iron that I talk about, the lady that used the iron on the child, that scar is going to be on that child's body forever and ever. Even when the wound heals, the scar is still going to be on that child. Anytime the child looks at it, the child will still remember. I'm not even going far. Even me as an adult, okay? Because I've also gone through some of these abuses, in some place that I worked as a house help also. So I know these things, okay? I'm not just talking, I'm talking out of experiences also. Okay, if you check my leg, I still have scar there, all right? Of what my madam did to me. I don't know what she even used to hit me on my leg, Seth. I was also a child then. I think it was a wooden item, like, cover of a cupboard like this. I think it was a cover of a cupboard like this. And you used it and hit me, and then blood was rushing. So even after the wound healed, I'm still seeing the scar there. So every day I will still remember, okay, this happened because of that. So that is it. It's not okay at all. All right? If you have the privilege of having another person's child in your, with you, or you're taking care of the child, please try to treat them well. Try to treat them well. That's what I'm talking about. All right? That the person is a house help to you doesn't mean that the person is useless, or you can just take advantage of them and treat them anyhow that pleases you. No, you don't do that. Treat them well, please. And then some of the people in the society, or even their neighbors and all that, you will see someone that they're treating bad, and then you just pass because it's not your child, it's not your brother, it's not your sister, and then you just pass without saying anything. It's not okay. Please try to report these people, okay? If you see such treatment of any child, try to report them. You can report them to anywhere anonymously, and nobody will know that you did that. All right? Don't just leave people, okay? Really, I think that's the end for now, okay? See you in my next videos, please. Bye.